Hello and welcome to this sellability video. So today I'm going to be talking you through the financial settings section of your sellability settings. Now, before we go any further, I just want to mention first off how important this section is, why it's really important to set up. So besides linking up your sellability account to Amazon Seller Central, it is just as important that you get this set up. So linking up to Amazon Seller Central just basically means that you can use sellability. But the financial settings are really important because this is basically going to determine things like all of the costs involved in purchasing that product. It's going to help sellability work out things like your profit and ROI on all of the deals that it finds for you when you have a completed scan. And it's just very important to ensure that all this information is filled in. Now, another thing I want to mention before we go any further is if you have BuyBotPro, Protector Pro, or SKUify, maybe you've got all of them, it's really, really important that these settings are set exactly the same across the board. So for all of the softwares, all of this information should be set exactly the same. If you see a discrepancy between what, say, BuyBotPro says and what Sellability is saying, chances are something is set differently in the settings. So to ensure that consistency and to save any confusion, it's really important that all of the numbers, all the toggles, all of the settings are done exactly the same across all of the softwares. So now that that is out of the way, we're now going to work our way through the financial settings section from the top through to the bottom. So I'm going to explain what all of this is. So first up, you've got your preparation fee. So how much does your prep center charge you? So it could be that the prep fee is 55 pence per item or something like that. And then in that case, you just enter that in right here. You have your bundle prep fee. So if you've got items that are part of a bundle, you can have an additional fee. So whatever that is, which is something that you can find out from your prep center, then you just enter that in here. If there's any extra fees that you want Sellability to take into account, so it could be something to do with labor. Maybe there's a little extra something that you put in with every order that costs you, say, like, I don't know, like 5 pence, something like that. Any extra fees that you can think of that you would like Sellability to take into account, it could be anything, you can add that in here. So you can express that as a regular value or as a percentage. So if you know that, there's like an extra, like a bunch of extra fees and it totals up to, say, like an additional 5% on top of everything else, then you can just go ahead and enter that in here. You then have your VAT status. So if you are non-VAT registered, you need to select that. If you are VAT registered, you'll either be standard or on the flat fee scheme. Now, if you aren't sure which one, basically you will know 100% if you are on the flat fee scheme. You'll be 100% aware of that. So if you are, you just need to set that one. But if you are VAT registered and you know it's not the flat fee scheme, then what you need to do is just select standard. The not applicable option is purely for US users, as obviously VAT is completely different in the US. Basically you just select not applicable if you are a US user. But otherwise, if you're in the UK, EU, and you're not VAT registered, you need to select this option right here. Now, when you have the VAT status set to standard or the flat fee scheme, basically you'll notice that this grocery VAT option appears, and basically you can toggle it off or on. So the grocery VAT is whether or not the product is going to be assumed at the 20% VAT or the standard VAT rate that products will tend to have in your country. So in the UK it's 20%. So if you were to turn this on, it's going to assume the VAT at 20% for grocery items. Of course, this wouldn't be the case for every single grocery item because there are grocery items out there that do not have that VAT. So in that case, you may prefer to toggle it off. But if you wanted to be aware of that potential, VAT on that product, regardless of if it has it or not, then it's probably safe to toggle that on. But of course, the choice is completely yours. Then you have the shipping cost, and that is per kilo or per pound, whichever weight you prefer to work with, kilos or pounds. And basically, you just enter in how much it is per kilo or per pound. So if you aren't sure about this, it's probably best to work out the average and then enter in that figure into the shipping cost. You then have your referral fee VAT exemption and your FBA fees VAT exemption. Now what this is where you apply to be exempt from VAT on these fees from Amazon, and if and only if Amazon have given you written permission and told you that you can be VAT exempt on these fees, can you then toggle these on as exempt? And then Sellerbility will obviously take that into account. You then have your ROI methods. So there's 6 different methods in Sellerbility. And if you want to find out a bit more about them, all you need to do is give ROI calculations a click. But basically, there's 6 different methods. And the method that you choose is entirely up to you. As I say, if you have set up the methods in the other softwares, BuyBotPro, Protector Pro, SKUify, is probably the best idea to keep this exactly the same in here as well. So method 1 is the most basic way to work out ROI, profit over product cost times 100. We would recommend something like method 4 for UK sellers because it takes a lot more into account, including Amazon fees. Therefore, the ROI you get will be a lot more accurate. Method 5 we would recommend for US sellers, purely because again it takes a lot more into account and it's all VAT exclusive. So again, this was made for US sellers, but of course as you check out the calculations and what exactly Sellerbility can do in terms of ROI, it's completely up to you which one you pick. Whichever one takes into account everything you want to have taken into account for your ROI. You then have the VAT override box. So if you know that you are consistently working with a different VAT rate, then what you can do is enter that in here. And then basically once you are done, you just need to click on save. Now that the settings have been updated, Sellerbility will then take this into account for all of the products, whereby it finds those good deals and it works out all of the costs involved and the ROI and the profit and so forth. And yeah, as I say, it's just really important to make sure that all of this information is entered in here. Don't forget to click save when you are done. Hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.